You know, there's nothing better than finding out you are owed money from the state's Unclaimed Property Program.
Right, and thanks to recent changes, in some cases, you won't even have to make a claim. You're going to get that money automatically.
And this is Chick2Chick.
Okay, so the state has this Unclaimed Property Program, and about a year ago, my brother was on there, and he's like, hey, your name is on there. You got some money coming to you. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I went on the website, and I did have to fill out some forms, and lo and behold, I got a nice little check in the mail. I didn't even know.
You lucky duck, you.
I know.
I'm in search of that too. Who doesn't want extra money that's floating out there? Well, today we're going to learn exactly how that is happening. PA Treasurer Stacy Garrity joins us today. Let's start off with just talking about what exactly the unclaimed property is.
Yes, absolutely. So unclaimed property can be things like uncashed checks, rebates, old bank accounts. It could be an insurance policy. And we also have tangible items that we get mainly from abandoned safe deposit boxes. And in those abandoned safe deposit boxes are things like jewelry, collectibles, could be even military decorations. And believe it or not, the state has $4.5 billion, yes, billion with a B, of unclaimed property. And I'm always encouraging everybody to go and then look and claim it, because you know what? It's not the state's money. It belongs to the hardworking Pennsylvanians that earned it.
It blows my mind that somebody has a paycheck and they forgot to cash it.
Yeah, who
that
are
could
these
be unclaimed. In my case, you mentioned a rebate program. There was a program going on where I earned rewards for purchasing different products, and it added up for my son's college.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even know that I was supposed to go in there and cash it. It wasn't a lot, but hey, it was free money. I'll take it. The average Pennsylvanian, how much money do they have owed to them that they might not even know about?
So 1 out of 10 Pennsylvanians has unclaimed property, and the average claim is right around $1,600. And, in today's inflationary environment, when it's so expensive to get groceries, to fill up your tank with gas, a little bit of money can really help families that might be struggling.
Okay, Treasurer, I'm super nosy, so now I need to know. I want the secrets about it. I want to know what's in the vaults. What kinds of things could people expect?
Okay, inside our vault, which, fun fact, is the largest working vault in the nation, was built in 1939 with 400 tons of steel, and that front door alone is 60 tons. But once you get behind that front door, we have military decorations from every branch of service, from every major conflict. I'll tell you about a couple of really neat items we have. So we have a big B necklace. So it's 3 inches by 3.5 inches, diamond encrusted. And that came to us from a Philadelphia police department. So very blingy. We have a $500 William McKinley bill. And people say, is that real? And I said, yes, but we don't, but it's worth a lot more than $500, obviously. And we recently got an electric guitar signed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And we have a couple of trunks full of silver that came to us from a bank in the Philadelphia area as well. So all kinds of items.
You also have a lot of military medals that I know you have returned to either these veterans or their families. Talk to us. What is that like when you return something so valuable and so precious to these families?
Well, since I'm a veteran, so I served 30 years in the Army, getting these medals back to the veterans or their families is really near and dear to my heart. And so since taking office, we've really made this a priority, because I say out of all of the items in the vault, those are what is priceless. And so far we've returned 434, including 11 Purple Hearts and 3 Bronze Stars. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite returns was to the family of a World War II private, Frank Musto in Westmoreland County. And his family had a shadow box of his uniform, all his decorations. He was wounded in France, so he had a Purple Heart, but we had the Bronze Star because one of his sons, he had 9 kids, but one of his sons had passed away, and this Bronze Star was in the safe deposit box. And the bank, for whatever reason, didn't let the family know what was in that safe deposit box. So we hunted them down, found them, and we did an in-person return at a local VFW in Lower Burrell. And they were delighted, and it was really a moving ceremony. They enjoyed it so much that they came and toured the vault a couple months later.
That's awesome.
I can't imagine what that meant to the family.
Yeah,
I mean, that
that's
just goes beyond an unclaimed property.
Yeah.
That's just really heartfelt. So I want to talk about a recent bill legislation that was the Money Match program. So what's going on with Money Match?
Yes, I am so excited about Pennsylvania Money Match. So Money Match will allow us to proactively return up to $500 to single owners. So it has to be a relatively easy claim, but Money Match passed unanimously, which is something almost unheard of. And so it actually eliminates red tape in government, something, again, almost unheard of. And so the official startup date is the middle of January, but we're getting ready right now. So once January hits, we're going to send out letters to let people know that they have money. And then if the letters aren't returned to us, then we have basically verified the address, and we'll send out a check. Those first checks should go out in February. So super excited about that.
So just to be clear, like in my instance, I had to go on the website. I had to see that my name was there, and then I filled out the information. With Money Match, you're going to contact me, for instance, or you're going to contact Carrie, for instance, to let her know. That's how it's different. So instead of us searching it, you're going to find us. Is that correct?
Exactly. So right now we do all kinds of things to try and get people their money back. So we advertise in newspapers, we go to fairs, we go to legislative events, senior expos, you name it. I did an episode with Good Morning America just this past week, Show Me the Money. So we do a lot of things, but there's still so many people that just don't believe that they have unclaimed property. We can't get them to search it. Many times they think it's a scam. So this will allow me to proactively contact the person as long as they're alive and a single owner and less than $500. Let them know that they have unclaimed property, and then turn around and send a check out. So I cannot wait till January to get here.
So what is the significance of the $500? Because you mentioned earlier that the average Pennsylvanian is owed $1,600. So why do we have to go with the $500?
Right. Why not
Why
more?
can't we do the $1,600?
Yeah.
Well, that is a great question, Flora. So after we get going with this, I'm going to ask the General Assembly to raise it to $5,000, which is what I had first suggested. 14 other states, I want to mention, do this. And they do it from anywhere. It ranges from $500 all the way up to $10,000. So we already know that other states are doing it successfully. And so we can't wait to be number 15.
You know, what do you think it means to Pennsylvanians? You know, that there is something of theirs. The state's not just going to hold on to it. I'm feeling like, you know, they might be just really surprised that people really care about the constituents. What do you think that this means to Pennsylvanians having something like this? It's really a feel-good measure. It really is.
Well, it really is. And you know what? We get so much money sent to us every year from financial institutions. So the last 2 years, we got over $400 million a year. And while it's great to get that money, I would rather not get it in the first place. So this will allow us to, you know, really get money back to families. And I'm sure in a lot of cases that they're struggling, like I mentioned earlier, just with, you know, the high cost of everything. It's just through the roof. So I think this will go a long ways to help families out.
I think something that the folks at home need to understand, too, is that this is not a once and done kind of thing. I might have money today, I check it, I claim it, and think, okay, I'm done. But then next year, there could be more money there. Why does that happen? And why is that so important that people understand this is not a once and done type thing?
Right, because after 3 years of dormancy, financial institutions and other businesses are required to send it to the state. And that's why I tell people at least check once a year, because you never know, you know, when an uncashed check or a rebate or something is going to make its way to Treasury.
I'm still dumbstruck that there's just money floating out there.
I'll take it.
I really am. So I guess the question is, how do you prevent that from happening to begin with?
That is a great question, Carrie. And so what I tell people is make sure that you check in with your bank at least every 3 years. 1 year, every year would be better, but at least every 3 years If you have any change of address, any changes, make sure you communicate with your financial institution and make sure you have a list of all your accounts and where they're at. So in case, something happens, a trusted family member knows.
Well, and you bring up another interesting point. A friend of mine found out that her mother, who had passed away, had money sitting there in an account. How do you deal with that? Say your mother or a parent or somebody passes away and that money was there. You don't even know that it's there. How does, someone like me, how would I go about claiming that? Because the money's not really in my name. It was in my mother's name or in my father's name.
Estate or something like that.
How do you deal with that kind of stuff?
Oh, we get that back to the family members for sure, but it's a little bit more complicated. So this wouldn't be part of Money Match, but we would have to, for instance, see who the executor was, get the death certificate, sometimes do an attestation, of different family members. But we walk the person through the process. We do a lot of hand holding if they need it.
So it is a little bit more complicated, but eventually, you're going to get the
Eventually,
family.
They're going to get their money. Yes, we're going to get it back.
How long does the process take? I love when people are like, eventually you'll get blah, blah, blah. It just feels like it'll be the next year. But so, realistically, how long is the process?
Okay, so it varies. But if it's an easy claim, it could be 2 weeks. If it's a claim that's a little bit more tricky, then our backlog is like 4 months or so. So not super long.
Yeah.
No. And then sometimes if they make a claim and we require information, we'll send an email saying, hey, we need this document or that document. And so that could add a little bit of time to it as well. But we really have tried to really reduce our lead time.
Yeah, I got that check in 2 weeks.
I mean, that's great. I feel like nothing runs that fast in government. That's why I was
considering I didn't even know that money was there.
These people want this money out the door. They want this stuff out the door.
I should thank my brother for this.
Yes, you should.
Right.
Yeah, he's going to have to look for me now.
So again, this is all going to, this new program, Money Match, is going to start in January. And as you mentioned, it's for $500 and less. Or less.
Now.
In the meantime, for folks who want to find out if they have any money owed to them, and for those individuals who might have more than $500, where would you go? What's the website? How do people find out? What's the process?
It is very simple. All you do is go to patreasury.gov/unclaimed property and just pop your name in. If it's a common name, you can put your first name in, you can put in your address, you can put in your zip code, and it's very easy. You can also search for family and friends and let them know if they have something.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Treasurer. This has been a lot of great information, and when we're done, I'm going to go see what is owed to me. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. See you, Flora. See you, Carrie.
Thank you. Again, Money Match is going to start in January. If you have money coming to you, if it's $500 or less, the state's going to contact you. You don't have to do anything. But in the meantime, and if it's over $500, go on that website, check, put your name in.
Yeah.
It took no time for me. And I got money. Hey, thanks to my brother. He let me know.
There's billions. There's billions out there with a B, like
there.
that big bling she said that was found. Well, we loved having her on the podcast today, and we love that you were here joining us. Do us a favor, head over to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe until we're back to chirp about another topic.